Did you know that sleeping or loitering in public places is an offense? Yep. According to the Summary Offences Act, section 45, number C, you could be... Okay, nah, they're not coming from me. You could be fined, 200 TT or imprisoned for 1 month, if charged. Imagine that. Ooh, what's up, Trinbago Vibes peeps? Welcome to another episode of Trinbago Vibes. In this one, we are doing Weird Laws, Volume 2. Well, not so much weird laws, We doing some laws that you may think about or hear about, but you're not sure where it came from. So we'll be jumping into a few of those. So, Trinbago Vibes. And we kicked it off with that, sleeping or loitering in public. Interesting, eh? In doing this one, you would realize that a good bit of the laws we tackle in this one, be it weird, be it regular laws, actually came from the Summary Offences Act, of Trinidad and Tobago of 1921. So this act was made in law in 1921 and was last amended in 2021. So it's roughly over 100 years now. And when I was going through the act, right, it's amazing to find some of the laws inside there that is like, oh, so this is where it came from. And then others is like, wait, they really had to make this into a law? And then it hit me, yes, because somehow, somewhere, something like this, as far-fetched and as stupid as it may sound, would have happened that requires this law to come to pass. Now, with that being said, right, I am no lawyer, right? So in this one is, everything we are talking about here, we're going to refer to the sections of the law in which I got this from, right? But for any legal advice, seek the professional, seek your lawyer, right? I am no lawyer, so anything I am saying here is just for educational purposes, right? So on to the second law, Trinbago Vibes. And no, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. A vote for Trinbago Vibes is a vote for, showing everything Trinidad and Tobago. Let me just go and put this up on this pole here, and look how good that looking. Brother man, what you doing? You can't be doing that, brother. Did you know, according to the Summary Offences Act, section 45D, right, it is illegal to place a placard or notice on any pole, premise, wall, building, fence, or otherwise deface it without first permission from the owner. I wonder how much people is be putting up like signs on poles and things and not getting permission, boy. Or any wall or anything. For real. I don't know how much people is actually do that, and they'll get away with it, especially, around election times. Oh, by the way, the fine for that offense for illegally placing a placard on any pole or wall without the owner's permission is a month in jail or $200 TT fine. But here this now, I have a next job for you, is to go and, cut some fig down the road there. Some fig? You want me to go and pick some fig down the road? Yeah. So how about you take a bunch of fig, for payment? A bunch of fig for payment. That's how we used to do it. Take a bunch of fig. Brother man. According to the Truck Act 1918, right, you cannot pay a worker anything other than money. And it's not like we have an exception from the Minister of Labour who can give permission for that, according to the Truck Act. I did not know that. Did you? Let me know in the comments below. Trinbago Vibes. Section 19 to 21. Alright? This is especially important to farmers. Now, anyone who steals or maliciously uproot any fruit, any plant, any produce on someone else's garden or, farmland, if caught, can be fined 2,000 TT in addition to the worth of what they stole or what they destroyed, or imprisoned for 4 to 6 months. Alright, I'm gonna, organize this and we go head to the next one. By the way, that's at my in-laws' property and I got permission to pick the fig. But if anyone is caught stealing or maliciously destroying any, vegetation on someone else's property, then that's when you could be charged. So don't forget to, fence around your spot and put up your security cameras to catch, whoever people. And where's this boy? One boy, why you park up so on the road? You know you're blocking the flow of traffic. Way boy. By the way, according to, the Summaries Offences Act, willfully blocking the free flow of traffic is also a charge. The normal $200 fine or 1 month in prison. When you get frustrated with people just being inconsiderate on the road, blocking up the free flow of traffic, causing traffic, well, there's a law that could charge these people for this, but like a good bit of these things, we don't really get charged. Now, section 109, right? You have to notify the police commissioner in writing 48 hours in advance, like before you have any public gathering or meeting here in public or on the streets or anything. Now, the police commissioner could refuse that notice, but he have to give a reason. He or she have to give a reason on why that notice is being refused, should it be refused. And yeah, that has to be in writing as well. And failure to notify the police commissioner could result in a $10,000 fine or 2 years in prison. Yeah. So you cannot sing any profane or obscene songs out in public or on the streets. Yeah, the yellow Poui in season right now. Yeah, so we just had the pink Poui in season, now the yellow. Anyway, you cannot sing any profane song out in public. It is a fine. You get $200 fine or 1 month in jail. And this is also under section 64, section 1, well, section 64(1)/F, of the Summary Offence Act. Yeah. Trinbago vibes. And that's why you wouldn't have much soca artists or artists from Trinidad and Tobago singing any tune with any kind of profanity in it, because they wouldn't be able to perform that song or songs in public without being fined. So, did you know that section 17 of the Summary Offence Act, right, it states that killing or wounding pigeon or house doves is unlawful, meaning that if you are caught doing so, you can spend a month in jail or be fined 100 TT once it's not larceny, which is mean theft of a personal property. I think there's a separate section of the law for that, so let me know in the comments below if you know of it. Now, this is an interesting one, and I suspect this was passed due to, messenger pigeons back in the days. Yeah. Now, just after the pigeon law, we got the fish law. Yeah, section 18 of the Summary Offence Act. It basically states that if you steal or destroy any fish from private property, you can be fined $100 in addition to the value of the fish stolen or destroyed. So I guess camera footage would greatly assist in this case. And since we're on the topic of animals, right, there's also the Animal Welfare Bill 2020. Now, section 16 of the Summaries Offence Act, covers killing and wounding animals except for cows that are pets. But in 2020, the Animal in brackets Disease and Importation close brackets bill was passed, and this became law in 2021, which essentially sets fines up to 200,000 TT for animal abuse or cruelty, and a range of offenses related to the proper care, treatment of domestic animals, basically how you treat your pets. So if found guilty of mistreating your pets or domestic animals, that's how much you could be fined, or 5 years in jail. Yeah. So make sure and treat your pets well. Yeah. Now, shout out Starbucks and the Poui people for putting on this. This happened over the Easter weekend at the Queen's Park Savannah. This one was basically kind of expo for owners and their pets, mainly dogs, paws and stuff. And shout out to the people I met who are subscribers to the channel as well when we was walking through this one. Yeah, this one was cool actually. And right outside this event at the Queen's Park Savannah, they had some kite flying happening. And we covered this law in a previous video, link in the description below if you haven't seen that one yet. But it was pretty awesome to see all these kites in the savannah on this Easter weekend. Alright, Trinbago vibes. Now, most of these laws were drafted during our colonial times here in Trinidad and Tobago, and over the years some were amended and some were repealed. However, a good bit of them still remains as part of the law today. Now, like I mentioned earlier, granted, I don't really see people getting charged for these offenses that we mentioned in this one. Probably one or two they might get charged, especially the animal abuse one, once there's proof. Most times, most of these things, nobody's really get charged for it, and the fines, not that as heavy, except for the jail part. That part might be a little rough. In this one, we didn't really tackle any weird laws. Well, we probably heard one or two weird ones in between, but it was basically laws that like I knew existed and was wondering where it came from. The majority of it was from the Summary Offence Act. And finally, right, did you know that there's the deceased wife's sister Marriage Act of 1911? Yeah, this one is probably one of the weirdest one in this one here, because honestly, I think it's unnecessary. And I'm like, why you needed that for? Now take this into consideration. 1911, right? So early 1900s, that mean possibly that this act allowed children to have a mother or have a close relationship with somebody who is blood related to their mother, in a sense. I don't see why you need that for. And it's weird this day and age. Let me know in the comments below what you all think about that. But yeah, that is how we're going to end this one. I have no more information about it. If you want, you can check the links in the description below. You know, I'll leave links to where I got all these laws from. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all in the next one. I'll go on later. Yes, and if you're wondering where I am, well, Poui in Trinidad and Tobago, and we are in front of the president's house. You know, the garden, so to speak, which again is open to the public. That way will lead you to the botanical gardens. Yeah, and yeah.